alongside Act 2, Bungie just released 5 new weapons. But which weapons are worth chasing, and what are the Godrolls you should be looking for? Let's talk about it. Now, just a quick reminder that you can focus all of your weapons at the Tome of Want, but they will also drop from the new Court of Blades activity. However, if you want the Adept versions, Bungie has confirmed that they will only drop on Expert difficulty. Now, let's get to the Godrolls. Starting out with the Afterlight, it's a Void adaptive frame. We only have one other Void adaptive in the game, that being Gravitic Arrest from Vesper's Host. So you might be wondering which one is better. Well, it's not as easy a question as it sounds, because if you're looking purely at the perks, Gravitic is better. Let me explain. In the third column, we have several very solid ammo perks, like Lead from Gold, picking up heavy ammo, gives ammo to this weapon, and Discord. Final blows with another weapon grant this weapon increased speed for ADS, accuracy, airborne effectiveness. We don't care so much about that. When Discord is active, final blows refund ammo. That's the big one. So with Afterlight, you'll rarely ever run out of ammo. Gravitic's third column is mostly PvP perks. So what makes it better? The fourth column. Gravitic has access to that 15% weaken with the perk Withering Gaze. When we look at Afterlight's fourth column, we have perks like Reservoir Burst, so 25% increased damage, cause enemies to explode on death. We have Swashbuckler at ×5, which is 33%. And we also have, down at the bottom here, Destabilizing Rounds for your Void synergy. Now, most of the time, having a way to weaken a boss or champion is more valuable because you're probably using a primary to kill the trash mobs. However, when you look at the origin trait, this is what makes Afterlight good. Willing Vessel gives this weapon a faster charge time, but I'm going to recommend the secondary perk, Runneth Over. This will overflow your magazine based on the number of nearby allies. So I think the weapon roll to grab is either Discord and Reservoir Burst, or Lead from Gold and Swashbuckler. Next up is a weapon that I have been wanting since Heresy launched, Refusal of the Call. Glaives are like cargo pants. You either like them or you don't. So if your response to this weapon is, great, another glaive, you're not alone. Feel free to skip to the next weapon. But if you like glaives, you're going to love this one. Refusal of the Call is only the second glaive in the kinetic slot and the first strand glaive, so it's completely unique. And on top of that, it has some of the best glaive perks in the game. In the fourth column, we have Discord, so we're going to get ammo back when Discord is active. Replenishing Aegis, where blocking damage partially reloads the weapon from reserves. And Envious Assassin, so defeating targets with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from reserves. And in the fourth column, we have Melee Momentum. Melee final blows with this weapon grant it bonus energy and provide increased movement speed while blocking. And my personal favorite, Close to Melee, where glaive projectile final blows improve our glaive melee damage, and this is up to 30% for 10 seconds. There is one more perk that was mentioned by one of the weapon designers in the Act 2 livestream, Sword Logic. This is a damage bonus that stacks up to 50% at 4 stacks. But here's the problem for me. Glaive melees don't count as weapon kills. They're melee kills. So the only part being buffed by this perk is the glaive projectiles. And I'm not sure about you, but I don't prioritize shooting my glaive, except to keep my shield energy up. Now, if I am wrong and it actually buffs the melee damage, that would be nuts. If I am wrong, I will focus and grind for this weapon every single day until Apollo. Its only competition is Rake Angle, which is also a great glaive. Chill Clip is usually seen as the god roll, but now that we have Tenacious Mastery, which is better, or maybe you might be using Riptide this season. But in terms of being a great glaive, Refusal is 100% my pick. And the best perk combo is probably Replenishing Aegis and Melee Momentum. Especially when you consider that we have the artifact perk No Bell, so blocking a shot gives you a temporary 85% damage boost to glaive melees. Next up is an Arc Heavy Burst Sidearm, the Division. Heavy Burst Sidearms are rare in Destiny. We do have several like Breachlight from Episode Echoes and Liminal Vigil from Spire Dungeon, but the last arc Heavy Burst sidearm released back in Season 17. Now, Division is very comparable in its stats to other Heavy Burst sidearms. Turning to the perks, in the third column we have Eddy Current and Pugilist. Fourth column, we're probably looking at something like Volt Shot or maybe Swashbuckler. Now, importantly, all of the Heavy Burst sidearms I mentioned can roll with that Pugilist Swashbuckler perk combo. But the unique arc roll is definitely something like Eddy Current and Volt Shot. I have a Brigand's Law with Threat Detector and Volt Shot, but this very well could replace it. Especially with something like Willing Vessel, the Origin trait giving us more reload speed. It is gonna be nasty. Next up is a weapon that is the first of its kind, Mirror Imago. It is the first Strand adaptive frame SMG. Now, we've had a few other adaptives, like Bug Out Bag from Season of the Deep, Hero's Burden from Iron Banner, and Parabellum, which is a world drop. None of them has really impressed me, but the perks on this one may just make me grind out a god roll. In the third column, we have Subsistence, Pugilist, and the new perk Recycled Energy. Now, Subsistence kills partially refill the magazine. That's 17% of the mag per kill on SMGs. And with Mirror having a 36 round mag, this should give you 6 shots back in the mag. Pugilist, fairly straightforward. Final blows with this weapon generate melee energy. In the new perk Recycled Energy, I'm more curious about this perk than anything. Prismatic has given us a lot of powerful abilities, and depending on how much energy it gives back, it could be good. In the fourth column, we have Swashbuckler and Sword Logic, and those would be my top 2 choices. Swashbuckler, this weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. That goes all the way up to 33%. However, we also have Sword Logic. Final blows from this weapon grant a stacking weapon bonus, right, up to 50%, but it has a timer. Now, the most obvious competition for Mirror Imago is Imminence from Salvation's Edge. It has Chaos Reshaped, which is like Frenzy, except that the damage goes all the way up to 35% and activates a healing burst. It's very, very good. But if the thought of grinding this raid makes you want to smash your computer and or cry in the fetal position, that's okay. Mirror Imago is gonna be darn good. My personal god roll on this weapon will probably be that Subsistence and Sword Logic, but once I have the numbers on Recycled Energy, this could change. The last weapon on our list actually dropped for me in Act 1, Anamnesis. Bungie had a glitch where all Heresy weapons were dropping for a short while, so I got this roll. Anamnesis is a Void lightweight bow, and we actually have a lot of lightweights currently in the game, like Lethophobia from Season of the Wish, Tyranny of Heaven from the Last Wish raid, and even Fortunate Star from the Solstice event last year. Taking a look at the perks, in the third column we have Dragonfly and Repulsor Brace, which is going absolutely nuts in Heresy right now. Now, Dragonfly, precision kills create that elemental damage explosion. Repulsor Brace, defeating a void debuff target grants an overshield. When you look at the fourth column, we have the pairing for this, destabilizing rounds, right? Defeating a target creates a void burst that makes nearby targets volatile, and this is the big wombo combo that's going on right now. But also in this column, we have Demoralize. Precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened, and this should be a 15% weakened debuff. The combo of Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds, as I said, it's incredibly powerful. But if you kept a Fortunate Star from last year's Solstice, then congratulations. Not only do you already have a roll with this perks, but you are also either a hoarder, like me, or your name is Sammy Cat. But with how easy it is to get volatile rounds this episode, I'm actually more interested with a Dragonfly and Demoralize roll. Get a headshot, you get that Void Explosion that also weakens. I'll probably also keep a roll with Repulsor Brace and Demoralize as well. Those are the Act 2 weapons. I'm going straight for that Refusal of the Call. Then I'm going to go probably Anamnesis, Division, Mirror Imago, and lastly, Afterlight. But what weapon are you planning to focus on first? Let me know in the comments.